Anyway, you people want to know about the trivia contest, right? Look, as far as tonight's show, Breakfast with Blassie, by the way, welcome to this edition of Breakfast with Blassie for June 17th, 2015. I am your host, Don Tony, and I am giving away swag tonight. I am giving away lots of merchandise tonight. You know, did you hear that? I'm on my fantasy baseball league, so don't mind that. But anyway, you know, I'm undecided how I want to give away these prizes. Do I want to do it in all one full swoop? Is that how you say it? Should I give them all at once, or should I spread it out to like 2 shows? All right, I haven't decided yet. I will decide before the end of this show. Kind of sounds like Raw. By the end of the night, you will know your opponent. By the way, you know, Vince Russo has an article up about Seth Rollins. You and I out there have felt, for the most part, a certain way about Seth Rollins for quite a while now. Ever since Seth, let's be honest, Seth Rollins is a talented wrestler. Seth Rollins is a great performer. Seth Rollins has an unbelievable wrestling arsenal. We have yet to see even half of what Seth Rollins could do in the ring, and that is the truth, okay? But ever since he started joining the Authority, okay, as Vince Russo calls him, the chicken shit. I mean, we compared him early this year to Edge, when Edge was the Mr. Opportunist. There's a big difference between Mr. Opportunist and a chicken shit. Okay? Edge backed it up in the ring. Edge cut promos. Edge's character was a coward. But Edge also always had a set of balls. Okay? And the art of Edge at that time, Mr. Opportunist, is when people know you have a set of balls, but you choose not to use those set of balls because you found a cheaper and quicker way out of a situation. Okay? Look, I might have the balls to go into a burning building and rescue a fucking, you know, hot chick and, you know, maybe the husband too, but I might have the balls to go rescue someone out of a fucking burning building. But if there's a fucking hose on the side of the house and I fucking see a fireman come up, you know, all right, I'll let him do it, you know. Maybe I'll fucking pick up a water gun and, you know, or better yet, when the fireman goes to, you know, right before he hits the building with the water, I could go and run up to the door and say, I got to help these people. And because I know in the back of my mind, no, sir, it is too dangerous. You need to go aside and let the real professional people do it. But I still come off as a hero because it looks like, hey, I was going to go into the burning building. Hey, you know, somebody's getting beat up on the corner. A guy is slapping the shit out of his wife. Now, if it's a fucking regular guy, you know, I'm going to step in there and say, you know, come on, man, be a pussy. Why don't you fucking hit somebody your own size, motherfucker? But if it's fucking Jose the Puerto Rican and it looks like that he's packing in his pocket, you know, I might be a little bit reserved, or maybe I'll wait until the cop shows up. And then when the cop shows up, I'll start charging the guy. And right before I really have to do anything, the cop will be like, sir, we can handle this. And I still look like a hero because I was about to do that, okay? If I'm in a situation, and it's like playing a video game, okay? I could either play Pitfall and jump over the crocodiles, you know, jump on their heads, or I could jump on their heads one by one, or I could fucking just grab the vine and go over them. So being an opportunist doesn't mean you're a chicken shit. And Edge did a lot of shit being a chicken shit, but he also always showed that he had a set of balls. He always showed that, you know, if he wanted to, he could back. Seth Rollins' character, I understand it's a storyline, and I understand he's fed certain scenarios and certain lines, but, you know, some of the facial reactions, some of the things that you do is yourself. I mean, look, they're not robots in the ring, okay? They have a storyline, they have certain things they're supposed to do, and then they perform in the ring and they try to act it out. And the way Seth Rollins has been used and the way he's been carrying it out on TV, to me, has been an absolute disaster. And I want you people to remember the last sentence that I say about Seth Rollins tonight. Because out of everything that I'm saying right now, and you're like, wow, you're spot on, you're spot on, you're spot on. The last sentence that I say is gonna be what's most important right now. Okay? You had fucking Seth Rollins losing to J&J Security that I could probably lift up my foot and literally, squash them from the top of their head. And look, I'm not trying to make fun of their height, but in storyline, I mean, come on, they've always been played off as these little security guys getting beat up all the time. All right, you have fucking Seth Rollins a couple of weeks ago standing up to the authority. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. And then the following week, he's Mr. Pussy again. And then you have Brock Lesnar come out. And I have no problem in storyline purposes of Seth Rollins backing down and walking out of the ring. But with this exaggerated of him being afraid to just look at Brock Lesnar, looking at the ground, looking left and right, looking like this, looking like that. He looked like the fucking ex-girlfriend I told you people about that looked like Whitney Houston. Remember the chick I told you all that when I accidentally hit myself in the head with a crowbar and changing the flat, and then I told her I got jumped thinking I would get a blowjob or something? What I tell you at that time? She looked just like Whitney Houston, but she had a lazy eye like Shawn Michaels. I'd look at her and I couldn't tell if she was looking at me or if she was looking out the side window. Okay? I mean, he's looking left, he's looking up, down, left, right, and it's no problem if you do it for a second or two. But Jesus Christ, I could have taken a shit. I could have made something to eat. I could have walked the dog that I don't have anymore. I could have fucking swept the floor. I could have done this. I could have taken a nap. And that went on for like 2 minutes. And it was like, my God, this is your heavyweight champion for the last fucking 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it is, 3 months. And the funny thing is, when you think about it, it's only been, what, 3 months? About 3 months. Doesn't his title reign feel a lot longer? And when you look back at his title reign, I mean, wrestling boom, Jarrett? You think about Seth Rollins' championship reign. What is memorable about his reign? What matches are you going to recall? I mean, what feuds? I mean, he fought against Dean Ambrose last year, and then it happened again. He fought with Randy Orton last year, and it happened again. He fought with Roman Reigns a little bit last year, but then Roman Reigns got hurt, and then he did it again. They teased a little bit of him with Brock Lesnar, and now they're going to do it again. I mean, what a real, in-depth roster. I mean, this fucking championship reign. And look, again, I blame this more on WWE Creative than anything else. This championship reign was terrible. It was pathetic. The whole Seth Rollins and this is where I differ with Vince Russo, and here's where I get towards the last sentence of this whole rant. All of you out there agree with me, for the most part, that Seth Rollins is a talented performer. Okay, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I don't want Seth Rollins fans out there right now saying dislike, 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 dislike on YouTube because of what I'm saying. Okay, I put, I'd say, 3/4 of the blame on WWE and the creative and the storyline and the lack of main event caliber talent. I mean, for a company that has NXT, for a company that has Raw and SmackDown, for a company that pretty much could sign anybody they want in wrestling, boy, does it seem like such a shallow roster. Holy fucking shit. When they did Invasion Angle in 2001, my God, look at the number of talents. You could write on a piece of paper probably 30 or 40 names that could have possibly had a world title match with Seth Rollins from 01, and even though maybe not necessarily be a full-time main eventer, but you know what? You could have seen blah, 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 blah take on Seth Rollins as the main event of Raw. There's probably about 30 guys. Right now, how many could it possibly be? 5? 6? How many people really want to see Kane or Big Show in the main event still? I mean, what do you got? So it's just, I blame most of this on WWE. But here's where I differ with Vince Russo. Okay? Obviously, the storyline has to shift when Seth Rollins loses the belt. Seth Rollins is going to lose that belt in the next anywhere from a couple of weeks to maybe 1 to 2 months. Seth Rollins will not be the champion by the end of the summer. To me, it is guaranteed. The ratings have not been doing all that well. I mean, his championship run, let's be honest, has been really, really lackluster. I mean, there's been recaps. Go look on Google. I'm not making this up. There are multiple Raw recaps where there's people's writing that during the main event of Raw with Seth Rollins in the match, that fans were walking out in droves. They just weren't interested. Okay? Seth Rollins, the title run, everything about it sucked. And I think the reason why people still chant, you sold out, is because it's their way of maybe indirectly telling WWE, why did you screw up the Shield? Why did you? And I understand they needed to branch them out so they could be singular stars. Obviously, they didn't know how to do it like they did with the Four Horsemen way back when. I mean, the Four Horsemen didn't prevent, Arn Anderson to become a tag team champion or Tully Blanchard, Ole Anderson. It didn't stop Ric Flair from being a heavyweight champion, on his own. There wasn't dissension within the Four Horsemen or jealousy because Ric Flair was the champion. There's an art of doing it. Do I think they should have gotten rid of the Shield? No, I don't think they should have split them up when they did. All right, they could have had these guys wrestle singular matches and still be part of the Shield. But, of course, there's a lack of main event heels. We talked about it on Monday. Unfortunately, Monday I heard the show skipped a little bit, but I did fix the issues. For people that don't know, I got to shout out everybody that connected to the server last night, Tuesday night. For the people that don't know, for about 2 hours yesterday, I connected to the server. I made a whole bunch of changes on the computer. I changed adjustments. I uninstalled antivirus. I changed latency settings. I stopped these other things. I changed user account control. I did so many changes to avoid the skipping problems that you've been hearing the last couple of weeks. And the funny thing is I think I figured out why it was skipping at all. I know a lot of you listen to the show through Mixlr. And Mixlr is a program that Missionary of Wrestling Soup, shout out to him, by the way, he introduced me to a couple of months ago. He said, this is a cool place. People could go there. They could chat, this and that. You could automatically record the shows. And Mixlr is awesome. But what I realized is that my episodes have been automatically recording through Mixlr. And I'm automatically recording them through another program at the very same time. And I thought that would be a good thing to do in case maybe one program crashed. I always had the other program as a backup in case, there was a problem with the computer. I wouldn't lose an episode. But apparently by having Mixlr recording also, it's conflicting with latency issues. So it was causing skipping. So Mixlr was the only change that I've done to my computer systems the last couple of months. As soon as I disabled auto recording yesterday and I changed a few other settings, no more skipping. So we should not have that problem anymore. Hopefully. I don't think anything skipped today. I hope nothing skipped today. But so I just wanted to just mention that. I don't think we're going to have those issues anymore. Don't get me wrong. We might have a bump in the road here and there. But for the most part, I think I fixed it. And this episode will be a good telltale if it was fixed or not. But anyway, getting back to Seth Rollins, okay? Seth Rollins is losing that title soon, okay? Brock Lesnar being back, you need to maximize Brock Lesnar's value as much as possible. And for people to think, look, for many years, what is the expression about the titles? How many times have you heard this remark? Titles don't mean shit anymore. Titles don't mean shit anymore. Titles don't mean shit anymore. I got news for you. You maximize Brock Lesnar's value, you put the title on Brock Lesnar. Okay? And for all of you out there that want to see Brock Lesnar as champion, if you are guilty of saying titles don't mean shit anymore, titles don't mean shit anymore, then what do you give a shit if Brock Lesnar is a champion or not? What do you care if Daniel Bryan is the champion or not? What do you care if Roman Reigns is the champion or not? Why do you care so much about who's the champion? And do I think the titles mean shit? Absolutely. If I didn't think the titles mean shit, I wouldn't care about Seth Rollins being the champion. I would be venting more about Seth Rollins all over my fucking TV as a fucking really, really stupid character. Just not entertaining at all. I mean, we went from, come on, John, come on, John, come on, John. Remember all that? Come on, John. So I'm ripping his title reign because I do feel the titles mean something. All right? But when Seth Rollins loses that belt, and he'll probably lose it to Brock Lesnar. Honestly, he's got to lose it to Brock Lesnar. I mean, Brock Lesnar is just the unstoppable force, and maybe we'll see Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns next year's WrestleMania, which don't be surprised if that happens. But because Roman Reigns getting screwed might lead all the way into WrestleMania of next year, and honestly, that might be a good thing. But anyway, getting back to Seth Rollins, and this is the last sentence of my rant, and this is where I differ with Vince Russo. And I know Vince Russo didn't say it, and I know 99% of the shows and websites out there haven't said it because nobody's bringing it up. Here's the last sentence. About everything that I said just now about Seth Rollins venting and how horrible his championship reign is, when they turn Seth Rollins face and they have him feud against Triple H or the Authority, everybody will forget about the horrible 3 months, championship reign, chicken shit, and all this other stuff. Watch how fast people forget about all this negativity when he turns babyface and he feuds with the Authority. Telling you. Not only that, watch the set of balls that all of a sudden Seth Rollins creates for himself when he turns to a babyface. Look, it's no secret. And a fucking retard could tell you this. All right? A chicken shit character has to be a heel, okay? For the most part. I mean, Eugene was a chicken shit character, and we fucking had orgasms when Sandman was caning him at fucking, the WWE ECW pay-per-view, okay? You can have chicken shit characters, but for the most part, to be a successful chicken shit, you got to be a heel. The problem is that you have to know when to be a chicken shit, and you also have to be able to show that you have a set of balls. And unfortunately, Seth Rollins has not been able to bring that trait across to the fans. But again, the last sentence of the whole rant, when Seth Rollins turns face, you will all forget about the last 3 months of absolute garbage. Maybe not garbage, but lackluster performances. Let's say it like that. When he turns babyface, you will all forget about the lackluster performances repeatedly.